Okay, shalom, shalom, kum yasha'Allah, koholoim la Yahweh, bahashim Yahushai, bahashim Rakah HaKodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the waters to all the H.I.M and Aqua that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh, bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yah Hanan Nawaf, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And I don't know, it was just by the Spirit, man. I was just, in the crib making some tacos. But, it just hit me in the spirit, this rap group that I remember from back in the days called the Young Black Teenagers, right? And what kind of, I guess they're because, a lot of rap groups, they have what you would call their signature thing, or their what's the word for it? The way that they want you to see them. Dang, it's a word for it though. Salakia. Their niche, or their dang, I can't think of the word. You know what I'm saying? Like their gimmick. That's what I wanted to say. Salakia, their gimmick. So, and the gimmick was that supposedly these were some so-called white guys that just had this flavor. And that they could just spit, they could rhyme. And I think Chuck D from Public Enemy, he was the one that produced this one particular little hit that they had, and they called it Young Black Teenagers. I'm not gonna front though, they have some dope ass DJs. But this is the way that they look, you can clearly see. They look like so-called white boys, right? But they were called the Young Black Teenagers. And they had some swag. They had some, they could spit. They had, I liked them when they was out. You know what I'm saying? It was a while back. You know what I'm saying? It was like around the 90s. This is when, hey, when rap was kind of rap, but it was kind of starting to transition and change at this point in the game. You know what I'm saying? But as you could see, these guys, they look like so-called white guys. But it dawned on me that, you know what I'm saying, these could have been Israelites. And I really believe that they are Israelites. Because they were dope, man. They had a lot of flavor, you know what I'm saying? But it was just unheard of. Because, the rap scene was just like, all Jake, or all dark skin, or what you would consider to be, Negroes or whatever. They was running shit. So you had these couple of groups that was popping up. You had MC Search, Third Base. I think they were Jake. Third Base, MC Search, and what's the other guy name? I can't think of his name. But anyway, I mean, I can actually pull them up too. Let's see. And actually, MC Search, I used to hang with him when he was a radio host here in Detroit at one point in the game, and he's a so-called small hat, or Jew, so to speak. But he was married to a so-called black woman. I remember that. And see, they look the same. You know what I'm saying? But this is Third Base. This is MC Search over here to the left right here. But he supposedly be a Jew. He kind of, reminds me of that Rappaport guy that supposedly be a Jew. But they could be Jakes, man. But the point that I wanted to make is, when you come into this truth, you can't just look at people and be like, oh, that's white man. You're going to hell. Not Salakia. That's not normally what Jakes say. But basically, you're going into slavery. You're an Edomite. And that's not necessarily the case, because Israelites come in all shades, all colors. And that's what I wanted to just bring out real quick. It was the Spirit, man. It just hit me like, I don't even know, just out of the blue. I thought of this. I'm like, just out of the blue. Like, well, where did that come from? I knew it was from the Spirit. So I went, directly on, Now, if you go into YouTube, I don't want to play any of the music, because I don't, want to get no little copyright hookup or whatever, because you can go and search for this yourself. But they were called a Young Black Teenager. It was kind of funny. But they were dope, though, you know what I'm saying? And Jake actually was listening to him at this particular time. And again, like I said, Third Base, but it's a lot of, then you had like, I'm not sure exactly, Cypress Hill, you know what I'm saying? Because, people would kind of look at if you wasn't like a dark skin, or if you just weren't considered to be a Negro, you were an outcast. And I can remember, like, as of this week, Apostle Gabar has been going off into One West, and as far as like the way men look, and he spoke up Apostle Aramlab. And Apostle Aramlab, he's done videos on it too. I actually seen a video yesterday of him mentioning it, you know what I'm saying, because of the hard pressure that he would go through as being his color, so to speak. And they would be like, you sure you're an Israelite? Because you don't look like, your typical so-called Wesley Snipes black guy. It's not, this truth is not, it's not going to come like that. So I wanted to just touch on that real quick, right? And again, you can listen to these guys if you want to, though, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they had this song called Tap the Bottle, Twist the Cap, back in the days. If a Jake would get killed, or if he died or anything, they would tap the bottle and pour out a little bit of liquor for their homies, so to speak. But this song was called Tap the Bottle, Twist the Cap, was their main hit. I remember that back then. So, but let's go into the scriptures. I'm not going to keep this long. This is very, very important to know. When you come into this truth, if you're a newcomer, when you come into this truth, you have to know that it's not just about color. You're going to have Israelites that look like so-called white people. You're going to have Israelites that look like so-called Chinese people. You're going to have Israelites that look like so-called Japanese people. And let's go into Numbers chapter 1 to show why. Because we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. You have to understand and learn the process of the men holding the seed. The men carry the seed, and they are the progenitor of the race. Whatever that man is, his children are exactly what he is. It don't make no difference how they come out looking. So you can have a so-called white man. He can get with a so-called black woman. She's chocolate. The children can come out looking like black children, but they're actually a so-called white. They come from the so-called white race because of the Edomite. He's an Edomite. It's not about color. You got to get rid of the color thing when it comes to this truth. Color doesn't matter when it comes to this truth. That's very, very, very important to know when you come into this truth, man. Because if you teach anything other than that, you're going to be adding to the scriptures and you're going to be taking away from the scriptures, man. Last thing you want to do is some guy run up on a camp and he's out and he's agreeing with what you're saying. The spirit resonates with his spirit. The scriptures are resonating with him. He agrees, but he looks like a so-called white man, or he looks like a so-called Chinese man, or he looks like a so-called Japanese, South Korean, North Korean, Cambodian, whatever the fuck. Our people have been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and we are everywhere. We're like the sands of the sea. Scriptures talked about we're a great multitude, roughly paraphrasing. So now let's get how lineage goes. Numbers chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 1 for the sake of context. And Yahweh spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai in the tabernacle of the congregation on the first day of the second month, in the second year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, verse 2 is the point here, take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel, after their families, by the house of their fathers. See? With the number of their names, every male by their poles. So it's by the house of your fathers, not the house of your mother. It's every male by their poles, not every female by their poles. This is very important to know. Very, very, very important to know, man. You can't just look at somebody and be like, oh, that's a white man. No, you can't do that. It's Israelites out here that look like fucking Donald Trump. Literally. Because the seed line goes through the father, and over time, our men of Israel have had sex with women of the other nations, and over time, generation to generation, generation to generation. Think about from 2,000 years ago what Israelites would look like today after being scattered in slavery. They've had sex with all these other women. So the children are going to come out looking like those other women a lot of the times. Then as time goes on, those sons They have sex with those. Say for instance, you got like Patrick Mahomes. He's a perfect example. Let's pull him up real quick, right? Let's put in Patrick Mahomes and his children, right? Matter of fact, let's put in Patrick Mahomes' dad, because he's light skinned. You can still tell that he's a Jake. You can still see that he's a Negro, right? Parents. Let's put in his parents. So this is Patrick Mahomes' parents right here, right? Here's his dad, dark skin. Here's his mom, light skin, or she's a, so-called an Edomite. Or she could be a damn Jake herself. But the point that I'm trying to make is, look at the color that Patrick Mahomes comes out from the two of them. He looks more like his mom than his dad. So now, let's check out Patrick Mahomes' children. Let's see, because Patrick Mahomes married a so-called white woman. But he's an Israelite. He is what his dad is. He just lost his dad color just that quick. So just think another generation. So now another generation would be his children. Let's go into it. Patrick Mahomes' children. Check it out. This is just one generation. So think about 13, 14, 15 generations. Of course, we're not going to look the same. Check it out. This is very important to know when you come into this truth. Now, here's the new family. Here's the next generation. Look at that. He married a so-called white woman. With his color, those children came out what? Blonde hair with blue eyes. But those children are Israelites. Those are so-called black children right there. So you get the point. You see what I'm trying to display here? This is very important to know. See? I don't know why. I know that's the spirit, man, because it's young black teenagers, man, them dudes is out. Man, that was way back when I was a damn kid, bro, when I remember them dudes, man. Then all of a sudden I heard in my spirit, young black teenagers. I'm like, so I Googled it while I'm cooking the tacos. I'm like, oh shit, that was the rap group. Yeah, I remember the rap group. But it dawned on me already, like, that's the spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? Because all Israelites are not going to look like Wesley Snipes, man. They're just not. You got to get over that shit, man. So let's move on. Let's get down to the point here. Numbers chapter 1, verse 18. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees. See? That word, that's the key word right there, pedigrees. After their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward, by their polls. So that your lineage goes by your father. Now let's get this word pedigree. Or they have it as a phrase, Yalad. H3205. H3205. To bear, bring forth, begat. That's really the word right there. Gender, travail. To begat. That's what it is. That's actually what it means. To begat. So when you go into this word, matter of fact, let's go into Matthew chapter 1. This is the lineage or the progenitor race of Yahushai, which the world ignorantly calls Jesus. And he's not some blonde-haired, blue-eyed white guy. Back then, we had our color. We had our look. But over time, since those 2,000 years ago when the Lord walked the earth, we've lost that. But the seed is still what's going on. That's what matters. It's the seed. The seed that comes from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That's what makes you an Israelite. Right? But the Lord's name is Yahushai. And if he was walking the earth today, he will be a dark melanated man. He will be a Negro. But his name is Yahushai, meaning Yah meaning he, Hawashai meaning savior or deliverer. And the true name of the Father is Yahweh, which means that Yah meaning he, Hawa meaning existing one. He is to be the existing one. So now when you look at this word begot, verse 1, Matthew 1 and 1, the book of the generations of Yahushai, Amashiach, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Abraham begot Isaac, and Isaac begot Jacob, and Jacob begot Judas and his brethren. So this word begot It's talking about the men. Because the whole lineage of Yahushua is men. So let's get this word begot. In the Greek is G1080, geno. And pretty much it goes off in genealogy. Of men who fathered children. See that? You can't get no, that's it. Then it goes on to with a first definition. And then, it gives up multiple definitions, but we know this to be the very first definition right here, men who father children, because it gives you the lineage right here. It goes on, and Judas begot Faraz, and Sarah of Tamar, and Faraz begot Esrom, and Esrom begot Aram. So you can see this is a lineage going on from father, to son, to son. You know what I'm saying? So it's great, 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 great. This is the lineage of all the Lord's great, 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 great grandfathers, for lack of better terms, right? So let's go back into Numbers. And it's got to be for somebody, man. You know what I'm saying? If you new coming into this truth, you got to get that color shit out of your mind. You must understand this first. This is milk. It's a dark saying, so to speak. It's meat, but it's also something that you have to learn before you go out and get the teaching and all that other stuff. Because you can destroy yourself going out and teaching that, and you're screaming at people and you talk, because of somebody look like Bruce Lee. Because we believe that Bruce Lee was an Israelite. Because we're the salt of the earth. Jake normally have swag. They got what you call swag, or they got bounce. They got step. They can keep a beat. You know what I'm saying? So this is Numbers chapter 1 and verse 18 again. And they assembled all the congregation together on the first day of the second month. And they declared their pedigrees, their ancestry, after their families, by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward. And that's just the way that the process goes. Just the way that it goes. Matter of fact, let's get this word husband real quick. Let's see. Because people, they really don't know the real understanding of the word husband. So let's get this word husband real quick. This is in Genesis chapter 3 and verse 6. Pretty much the first time that it's mentioned here. So let's just get the word husband though. Let's see what it means. Because a husband, let's see, where are we at? Husband, man, male, in contrast to woman or female. Husband, human being, servant, mankind, champion, great man, whosoever each. So it's let's check out H582. Man, mortal man, person, mankind, of an individual, mankind. Now let's put in the word husbandry. Now, husbandry, it goes off into plowing or farming, basically. Right? So let's go into it real quick. Let's see. Now, it's almost like husband, but, it goes off to husbandry. Right here. Now, Salakia, husbandry. Adama. And then you actually have husband right here, a car. H406. Plowman. See? So husband in this sense is plowman. Husbandman. Farmer. So what a man does when he gets with a woman, he plows into that woman. He sows seed into that woman during sex. He plows into her with his penis. He sets seed into her ground, and the nutrients from her is what brings that seed forth. But the seed is exactly what the man is, because the seed is the sperm that's within him already. Those are kids already. Those are children already, if you understand. So I wanted to just touch on this real quick, because this is a real It's a real major stumbling block to a lot of our people. So now you got this word husbandry. It's Adama. Let's get that one. H127. See? Ground, land, ground as general tilled, yielding sustenance, piece of ground, specific plot of land. So basically, what that man does is he plows. And I'm praying that this makes sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said again, this is something that's very, very important and is very, very vital that you know when you first come into this truth. Because you don't want to go out on the highways and byways and get the teaching and you missing this point right here. Because you could, you know, matter of fact, let me get this one. I end out here. Yahweh Batazah. The scripture talks about the little ones. You don't want to offend the little ones, any of them. Now, let me see. Yeah, let's get it in Mark right here. Chapter 9, verse 42. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and he were cast into the sea. See? So you don't want to be one of those people that's offending one of those little ones, because the scripture talks about spirit bearing witness. If their spirit bear witness with this truth, it's nothing you can do about it. Romans 8:16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Because that's even for us ones that's got a little color to us, even the darkest of us. When these scriptures resonated with our spirit, our spirit bear witness with the Spirit of the Lord, that it kicked in. We're Israelites. We know we're Israelites, because other than that, what was we calling ourselves? Black, Hispanics, Native Americans, African Americans. Before we came into this truth and this truth kicked in, we didn't know no better. We was no different than anybody that might look like a so-called white man that's popping up. Because there's plenty of Israelites. Look up Israelites. Just go into celebrities. Matter of fact, if you put in, let's see. I'm just going to give an example as well. Now, this right here is a perfect example. You can't get no better example than this to me. You know, Patrick Mahomes, these children, his son right here, his little baby boy, he looked like a little so-called white kid. If he were to grow up and marry a so-called white woman like his mom, then they would totally look like white people, but he would still be an Israelite. That's why you'll see so-called white people and they got swag. Like, damn, that motherfucker can really dance. Damn, that motherfucker can really, you know, do what he doing. He's got talent. Esau is goofy as hell, man. They don't have talent like that. It just is what it is, man. The Lord didn't create them like that. He didn't give them the salt that he gave the Israelites, man. Right? So, let me see. What was I going to put in? Let's put in biracial celebrities, right? And you can do this yourself, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a long list of these people. But you got biracial. Like, see, like right here, she's popular, right? This is what's her name? Lenny Kravitz's daughter. This right here will be a so-called white woman, because her father is an Edomite. She's not one of us. Because Lenny Kravitz's father is a Edomite. It's just that simple, man. Let's go back. It's a gang of these people. You know, see they look like us. They got the color. Like for instance, like Lauren, this right here, Lauren London, pretty. She looked like one of our people, but she's an actual white woman. She's not one of us. So this is what you would call a tear in the scriptures. She's what you would call a tear, and we're gonna have to go into that now that I bring it up. Now right here, check her out. This is Quincy Jones's daughter. She can pass for a so-called white woman, but she's an Israelite, because Quincy Jones is an Israelite, a so-called black man. She just got a little bit more of her mom look, you know, so to speak. But hey, but the list goes on and on. It's so many of these people out here. Tracy Ellis Ross. Now she looks like us. She can't, you know, her hair. She got that little body shape, but she's a so-called white woman. She's an Edomite. So look at it. See, this is where the tears and the tears come in at. Now I've never even noticed Cameron Diaz. I'm not even sure. She might be an actual Israelite. But I don't know. I seen her dancing in a damn movie one time. But that don't always. And now this is Halsey. She's a singer. She appears to be a so-called white woman, but her dad is a so-called black man. She's an Israelite. So you get the point. This right here, this guy right here. He appears to be a so-called white guy, but he's an actual so-called black man. He's an Israelite. Look into some of this stuff, man. You have to really know these things, man. And like I said again, the list goes on and on and on. There's plenty of these people, like Jussie Smollett, and the Smollett, you know, the Jolie or whatever her name is. Those are Edomites. Those are so-called white people, but they look like us and they blend in with us. But they are considered to be tares. As a matter of fact, let's go into the tares on matter of fact, let's put in wheat and tares real quick, and let's get let's just show you the similarities between wheat and tares, because they look just alike until harvest. You can't even tell. See right here, on the left-hand side, you got wheat, but on the right-hand side, it is considered to be a tare. The right-hand side, this tare is no good. That don't go with the harvest. When you harvest, you only want the wheat, but they grow up together. So you have to wait until the end of the harvest to be able to tell, because if you cut too soon, you won't be able to tell. Now, that's farming. I remember that when I was growing up in the South. And these two things, they look just alike. It's just like I said, there's people amongst us that look like us that are not actually us. So let's go into the parable of the wheat and tares from Yahweh. Matthew. Let's get the account in Matthew. Red letter so we know Yahweh is speaking. And it's entitled Tares Among Wheat. And this is really going off to so-called white people amongst the so-called black people looking like us. This is the type of enemy that you have. He's an infiltrator. He's a cunning hunter. When you see a politician and they just totally against Negroes, a lot of the times they are tares. They're so-called white men or they're so-called white men or so-called white women in so-called black people bodies. Like that movie, Get Out, you know. But this is verse 24, Matthew 13 and 24. Another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which soweth good seed in his field. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went by his way, Salakia. When the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the household came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then hath it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, or no, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them. So the tares, the so-called white people, they're going to be bound and to be destroyed. And the wheat into my barn. But gather the wheat into my barn. So the wheat is what's valuable. The Lord's chosen, the children of Israel, Deuteronomy 7 and 6. It talks about, let's go into it real quick, that they are the Lord's chosen. Deuteronomy 7 and 6. And Esau, he done mingled amongst our people because he's been trying to get his color back forever. Because he knows that it's not right to not have melanin. That's why they go on the beaches and be trying to tan. That's why they like tattoos and shit. They just trying to get some color. They understand, some in their spirit understands that we supposed to have color, and we're the only people on the planet that don't. That bothers them. Deuteronomy 7:6, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So the Lord chose the Israelites. Those would be considered to be the wheat in that parable, right? So let's go back. So let's go into the because he explains this parable because the disciples wanted to know. What's lucky? I'm pass it up. Let me see here. They have it there. They normally give it give it that title. The wheat and the tares explain. So let me see something real quick. Bear with me. It's in the same chapter. It's just gotta be it's explained. Matter of fact, it might have been. Let's go to Matthew and get the account. Because because the Lord spoke in parables. Here we go right here. The tares explain, right? In the New Living Translation, parable of the wheat and weeds explain, because the tares are considered to be weeds. What do you do with weeds when you have a garden? You pluck them up. You get them out of the way because they can choke out the harvest, so to speak. But with wheat, it's a little bit different because they can stand strong still, because it can grow alongside that tear, and it won't choke it out or be bothered. It's just the same thing. It looks the same until the end of the harvest. Okay, so verse 36, Matthew 13:36, then Yahushua sent the multitude away and went into the house, and his disciples came unto him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. Right? And the scriptures talks about how the Lord only spoke in parables, basically. And the disciples asked him, why do you always speak in parables, roughly paraphrasing? The Lord told them it's because it's for you to understand this doctrine, basically, or roughly paraphrasing. It's for you to understand these mysteries. It's not for the other people. So that's the reason why the Lord explained so much to the disciples, after the crowd was dispersed, so to speak. Because some of this stuff the disciples won't even understand it until the Lord explained it to them. And it was really by the Spirit that they would even ask. Right? So verse 37, it says, he answered and said unto them, he that soweth the good seed is the Son of Man. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom. Who are the children of the kingdom? The Israelites. But the tares are the children of the wicked one. So there's a difference right there. So we know that when people get to talking about the Lord loves everybody and everybody can be saved, this clearly says that no, they can't. Let's get this back again. The field is the world. The good seed are the children of the kingdom, but the tares are the children of the wicked one. So there's a wicked race of people out here. The enemy that sold them is the devil. And that word devil goes off into deceiver. Don't be thinking of the word devil and thinking about some guy in some red spandex suit and he got the horns on his head with this little pitchfork and shit. That's not in the Bible. That's not scriptural. The word devil goes off into deceiver. Matter of fact, let's see. Let's see what it says here in the Greek. Diablos, G1228. Prone to slander, slanderous, accusing falsely, a calumniator, Salakia, false accuser, slanderer. Number 2, they have a metaphor applied to a man who, by opposing the cause of God, may be said to act the part of the devil or to side with him. But basically, the word it just means slanderer or deceiver or a goddamn liar, and that's Esau. The enemy that sold them is the devil. Verse 39 again, Salakia, Matthew 13:39. The enemy that sold them is the devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. As therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire. so shall it be in the end of the world. And that's it, man. So these people that are running around looking like this right here, let's go back. Well, let me see. Probably can go back into it. But I mean, you know, we just biracial celebrities. And you can go through them. All you got to do is put in biracial celebrities. Go into their I got up images. But if you were to go into, you know, the Wikipedia, you know, where it gives their information, then you're going to see here's one right here. BuzzFeed, 62 mixed race celebrities who have actually talked about their multiracial. There's no such thing as multiracial. There's no such thing as biracial. You are exactly what your dad is. It's not a color thing. Esau came up with that shit. The so-called white man gave you the word white as an ethnicity. He gave you the word black as an ethnicity. No one looked like a glass of milk. They're not white. They're actually pinkish to reddish in color. You want to get down to color. No one looks like a car tire. You know, there's just different shades of brown people. But if you Google it, take your time and Google through it, and you can go through some of these things. If it doesn't say that their father is a black, Hispanic, Native American, Haitian, Jamaican, or you know, something to that extent, then they're tares, man. So-called white people. See, this one right here is gorgeous biracial celebrities with one black parent. See. Now, if their mother is black and their father is something else, they're fucking tares, man. You have to know this. See, here you go. Here's a list of them. List of them. They got them all right here. I'm sure that you could probably see. Let me see here. Did this one? See, this one says her mother is African American and her father is Danish. Now, if her father is not Danish, this is Amandla Steinberg. If her father is not an Israelite on that Danish side, so to speak, she's going into slavery. She's an Edomite. But the list goes on, man. I mean, you know, it takes some research. Sometimes when you get to looking at them, you get to looking at videos of them. You know, you might see them doing certain things, talking, you know, because some, you know, they have talent when it comes to acting, you know, because Jake got swag, man. You're not going to get around that Jake spirit. You can't fake Jake. That's one thing the apostles always say. You can't fake Jake, man. So a lot of these people I've never even heard of. But maybe you've heard of some of them. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, like I said, again, if you go off into biracial celebrities, it's a gang of them going to pop up. But you can't go by color. And generally, a lot of the times they turn out being fair-skinned, like how you see these people are. But sometimes they'll be dark as shit. They'll be a dark person, but they're actually a so-called white person, you know, or Edomite. So you can't get around that, man. I just wanted to just touch on this. I don't know why the Lord had me go off into this young black teenagers. Because I remember the group back in the days when I was a kid. But they were considered to be dope. You know what I'm saying? You know, they wasn't nobody tripping on them. Wasn't nobody like, oh, y'all some white boys trying to be black. You know, you might have had some people that might have been saying, but it wasn't like, because they were just, you know, had their little talent and they was good at what they done. Like, shit, you wasn't tripping because they wasn't off beat. It wasn't like, you know what I'm saying? You just like, oh, man, who the fuck is this? You know, they performing and they, you know, missing step and missing beat. And no, you didn't see them like that because, shit, they was out there just doing their thing like how so-called black people do. But whether they're Edomites or Israelites, the point is that you can't go by color. So just remember that, man. When you come into this truth and you start to teach, it's very important, brothers. When you go out to teach, don't have nobody bowing and kissing your goddamn boots. That's going off, because you just never know, man. You might have an Israelite bowing and kissing your damn boots, man. Leave all that alone, man. Just teach the scriptures. If it resonate with them and they can, you know, go and do a little bit of their own ancestry, because what it makes Jake do is they go and get to digging. They'll get to digging. They'll get to asking mom. They get to asking dad. But dad, what are we? You know, do you remember granddad? Do you remember your great-grandfather? You know, they get to digging, and they get, you know, the Lord will show them. But just by the Spirit, the Lord is going to show them. Because like I said, none of us even know what tribe we're from. I don't know actually what tribe I'm from. Now, being in the neighborhood that I'm in and growing up wherever, all the places I've ever grown up, you know, my parents and you know, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? I'm just considered to be a Negro, tribe of Judah. But I might not even be. I might be from the tribe of, you know, Gad. Or you know, one of the so-called Seminole Indians. Or, you know, I could be Northern Kingdom, easy. Because my family come from Alabama, you know what I'm saying, down that region, that area. I'm not sure where they come from before that. You know? But we're going to see, the Lord is going to change our bodies, man, in a twinkling of an eye. And we're going to know exactly what tribe we're from when the Lord get to separating and giving us our lot of land when we get to the kingdom, man. That's not to worry about right now. The thing of it is just know that you're an Israelite and just be happy as shit that you're not a fucking Edomite. Last thing you want to be is an Edomite, man. Trust me when I tell you that. You don't want to, trust me when I tell you that. You do not want to be a so-called white man with what's coming to him. And read through Obadiah chapter. It's only one chapter. Read through that if you think that Esau got a good look in the future. No, the shit about to get grimy for him. It's getting grimy for him now. That's why you're seeing they starting to act the way that they acting with all this election bullshit. All these wars and rumors of wars and stuff starting to happen. They're starting to clash and they falling. So I'm going to end out there, man. I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwame Yashala and a Bible Ball.